Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be going on a little thrift trip. In my last video I said that I wanted to go to more like smaller thrift stores because the pricing at Savers is just insane lately. So we're going to be going to a few like smaller op shops and stuff like that. There's probably going to be a few vintage stores as well, and we are bringing little Addie with us as well. Wait, I want to do like a full fit check of like the whole family. So I've got my cheetah print jacket on, some just like pants because it's absolutely freezing outside. My docs, this little boat neck top. I've got
leather jacket, I got a vest on, I got this top, the hots on it, and my Wrangler pants.
And then Addie is wearing his harness, which is actually a cat harness because he's so tiny. And he's wearing a hand-me-down vintage jumper from my baby boy Rocky. He doesn't fit into it anymore, so okay, let's go. Okay, so we just randomly decided to go into this music store, and this was literally the best decision ever because immediately I found this magazine about progressive rock, and this issue was all about Tool. I really love to find vintage CDs, as you all will know, and holy shit, they had so many CDs, and everything here was so affordable. It was really crazy. These were all singles and EPs from The Cure that I hadn't even seen before, just like these Nirvana singles. I'd never seen any of these before, like in real life. I think I've only seen them on eBay. A lot of their stuff was definitely original as well. Like, I was literally in heaven with this place. I spotted My Chemical Romance from a mile away, and obviously I had to get it. Oh my god, and for $10. I literally have a sixth sense when it comes to anything Nine Inch Nails, so of course I found these. Look at these Korn albums that I found. Oh my god, this is the best day of my life. I didn't end up getting their greatest hits because it's just not really necessary if I already own all of their other albums. Anyway, this wasn't all that I got from here, so please stay till the end for a full CD and record haul. We finished up at the music shop and went into this little thrift store that had some really cute stuff in the window display. I wanted to try this velvet dress on. I really loved the square neckline and the color, of course. They had some really adorable pieces on this rack at the front. This was just like legit lingerie though, so I didn't get anything from there. This whole rack was just gingham, and I loved this retro looking strapless dress. I definitely wanted to try it on. I thought this was a cute top, but $25, like seriously, I'm shopping at smaller thrift stores to avoid the higher prices, so I left this behind. So I went to try on those two dresses, and they were both labeled a size 10, but they didn't even go over my thighs or my shoulders, so yeah, that was very irritating. Moving on to this Sacred Heart store, and I did run into the door, so off to a great start already. We found this little pie dish that we would use for Addie's food bowl. Also the workers of this store were obsessed with him, and they gave him so many treats. We also picked up this magazine holder. It just like perfectly matched the silver like swirly decor that we have around the house. I actually just bought some new blue light glasses online for work, but there were a few really cute glasses here. Most of the glasses that I find have prescriptions in them that make my head hurt though, so I didn't end up getting any of these. So we just bought the dish for Addie and the magazine holder, and then we came across this gorgeous Eclectic store. The first thing that caught my eye were these Tiffany lamps. Oh my god, they are so stunning, but unfortunately they were like $250 each, so that's way out of our budget. I did consider getting this smaller glass lamp as it was only $80 in comparison to the $250, but I just wasn't a huge fan of the fringe. They had a bigger version of it as well, and I loved the actual like lamp pole part of it, but it wasn't even for sale. It was just for decoration, so never mind. Anyway, I would love to come back here one day when I have $1 billion, but for now we will stick to salvos. These pants were the first thing to stand out to me, and I loved the color and print, but they were skinny. Why? I didn't really find much at this store, honestly. They had this leather jacket here, but it was kind of like a really cheap version of the one that I already have. Very crinkled and didn't have a brand tag. We didn't really find much in terms of clothes on this day, but I found so many good vinyls and CDs. I actually went back to the record store after work the next day, and I picked up some more crazy CDs and a couple of vinyls as well. Oh my god, I'm just gonna go straight into doing a haul so we can discuss everything that I got, because that's not even everything. Okay, so I wasn't gonna do a haul for this video because I didn't really get many clothes or really any clothes, but because I got so many incredible like music related finds, I'm just gonna show you guys those instead because I'm so happy with them. I actually went back to that record store another time and got more CDs, and I just wanted to walk you guys through the ones that I got and why I got them and everything. First thing that I want to show you guys actually is something that Bo got me. So he got me this for our 4th anniversary the other day. Just disclaimer, it's not an engagement ring, even though it might look like one and I'm wearing it on the engagement finger, but just ignore that, okay? It's like a pre-engagement ring, I guess, because we can't afford to get married in this economy. But basically 3 years ago, Bo and I walked into this like vintage shop and they had this section there with all of these really cool rings by this jeweler who hand makes all of her pieces from scratch. And I mentioned that I really liked the look of them. And then fast forward 3 years later, we have proper jobs, we have a little bit more money. He saved up and got me the one that I wanted. This is literally one of the most perfect rings I could possibly think of. It is silver and gold, and even though I just wear silver, he said that he wanted to get me silver and gold so that it was more timeless, because just in case my style changes, then I can wear it with literally anything, and he knows me too well because my style does change a lot, and I used to wear gold jewelry, so we never know. The stone is an Australian black sapphire, which is really cool. I've never heard of those before. But yeah, I literally have been wearing this everywhere and showing it to everyone, and everyone's like, oh my god, did you get engaged? I'm like, no, we're too poor for that. Okay, the first thing that I want to talk about is this magazine. It's a progressive rock magazine that I didn't know existed. It's called Prog. And the second that I saw this cover, I was like, oh my god, I have to get that. I don't think it's vintage or anything, even though it is in this like pretty old plastic cover. This issue of the magazine is about Tool's album Lateralus, and it has like a 4-page interview with Tool in it, so I was really excited to get it. I haven't read through it yet, I've just like flipped through the magazine, and then it has this little matching CD slip, and the CD is actually like kind of a mixtape or a playlist of other new prog rock bands, so I'm gonna definitely be giving that a listen. Okay, I'm gonna do CDs now and then vinyls. I'm gonna start off with one that I kind of already have. First one I want to talk about is Issues by Korn. This is my favorite Korn album of all time. It is literally 10 out of 10, so perfect. My dad actually had this on CD and I stole it from him, but when I got home, the CD wasn't in it, so I just have the case on display, I guess, with all of my other CDs, and it's been painful not being able to listen to it or put it in the car. So while I'm talking about CDs, I will show you guys like the inside of the CDs and everything, but I've actually taken all of the CDs out and put them in my car already because I only have a CD player in my car. So yeah, I wanted to listen to all of these immediately, obviously. Next is another Korn album, and this is Korn 3. I used to think that this was like kind of a, you know, EP sort of album, but it is a full like 11-track album. I just never heard anyone talk about it, so I didn't really know that this existed until recently. I think it was only a few months ago I properly listened to it, and one of the songs, Let the Guilt Go, I used to actually listen to that song when I was like a child. Okay, Bo just got home, so I guess Addie will not be doing the haul with me. I'm an absolute traitor. Anyway, okay, next album I got on CD is My Chemical Romance's The Black Parade. This is the first album I ever got on vinyl. It is one of the best albums ever. I do have this album on CD, but it's their like Living with Ghosts reissue of The Black Parade, and it just like, I don't know, it has all the bonus tracks and everything, but I just wanted to get the like classic album. And this one actually looks like an original because it has a sticker on the side that says the new album featuring Welcome to the Black Parade, which is so sick. Yeah, it's got this like cardboard case and everything. Yeah, I love it. It's so perfect. Okay, this might be like kind of random for you guys because they're a bit more like folk or something. I honestly don't really know what they are. I guess they are like folk, but if anyone here knows me, you'll know that I am a huge Jack White and the White Stripes fan, and you know, Jack White, he's in like 50 other bands. One of those bands is the Saboteurs. They're actually called the Raconteurs in America and the Saboteurs in Australia because of some copyright issue. I don't know. So this CD is called Saboteurs, but everywhere else they're the Raconteurs. I actually saw them in 2019 or 2018 and it was amazing. Jack White, he's an incredible performer. Okay, Abby has decided to return for the rest of the haul. Anyway, yeah, great band, great album. It's not very heavy or metal or anything, but really good stuff. Next up, I got a System of a Down album that I do not have. This is Mesmerize, not to be confused with Hypnotize, but I love this album. It's got the classics on it, you know, BYOB, Violent Pornography. Actually don't know if I can say that word. Yeah, I love System of a Down. Mwah, beautiful, amazing. Every album they've ever made is like 10 out of 10. He's leaving again, what the fuck? Okay, another My Chemical Romance album, and it is one of the best albums of all time. Again, I just keep saying that this album is so iconic. And again, I think this might be an original because it literally says the new album featuring I'm Not Okay, Helena, and Ghost of You. So I'm like, what do you mean new? This came out like 20 years ago. I actually used to have this on CD, but I went to a meet and greet, like / concert for Frank Iero, the guitarist, and I was waiting in line for like 12 hours, I kid you not. And I think there was a girl in front of me who got to the like, you know, time when we had to go into the venue, and she realized she didn't have anything for him to sign. And I had this and my Danger Days vinyl, so I just immediately was like, here, take this, and she got it signed. I love this album so much, and I hope that that girl is doing well today. Okay, we're getting into like the last few crazy CDs that I'm so happy that I found. First one being a 9 Inch Nails album that I don't own. Amazing, that literally is so difficult to find since I have almost all of them. So this is Things Falling Apart, which is kind of like a remix album, bonus album that accompanied The Fragile when it came out in 1999. And it also has 2 bonus tracks on it, one of which being Metal, which is a Gary Newman cover, and the other one is 10 Miles High, which is just like a really good 9 Inch Nails song. Yeah, I haven't been able to find this anywhere except for like online, and I really don't like buying CDs and vinyl online because I'm just so worried that they're gonna be damaged. So I'd rather just get everything in person. The next 2 albums I got together, literally my jaw hit the floor when I was in the record store. So the first one that I want to talk about is Iowa by Slipknot, and I'm gonna be really honest with you guys, I love Slipknot, but this album, it took me so long to get into it for some reason. I loved their first album, I loved Subliminal Verses, but for Iowa, it just like, it didn't click for me. And then literally I bought this and I was like, I'm just gonna force myself to like it because everyone says that it's their best album. And I put the CD into my car and I blasted it, and after the first listen I was like, I get it now. I understand. So I really have become a huge fan of this album since I bought it. As you can see, the cover is like a silver, like metallic sort of print, and I just want to show you guys the inside of it. So obviously it has some like creepy ass baby imagery on it, but then it also has the original I don't even know what to call these, they don't really have them anymore, but you know when you would buy like a magazine and then they would be like, subscribe for more, and you would have to like fill out your details and stuff and send it back to them. But I also just wanted to show you guys the booklet that it had, because look at how sick the booklet is. It has these like really thin, almost like baking paper, like very sheer pages that have the lyrics and like the members and stuff on it. Okay, the last CD that I got before I move on to records is Anima by Tool. This is an album that I actually do have, but it's the modern version, and I didn't even know that there was a version like this one until I saw it. And it has a lenticular cover to it. Lenticular means not holographic, because I said that it was holographic in the Tool subreddit and everyone was like, actually it's lenticular. But basically the cover moves. Very, very sick, very cool, very Tool of them. The inside is totally different. I don't really know if I can show this, but there's a different CD, a different booklet, apparently. Yeah, just something so interesting, so cool, and like unique about that. I love this album, has my favorite Tool song on it, so obviously it's gonna get a lot of play. Okay, now let's move on to vinyls. I only got 3 vinyls, so I won't talk too much about them, but first one that I got wasn't from the record store, it was from a vintage shop. And again, it was an album that I don't own, and I am not afraid to admit this because I think that even your favorite artist can make bad music sometimes, but I didn't like this album. This is Bad Witch by 9 Inch Nails, and I didn't understand this album for so long. It is the 3rd EP that they released in the like trilogy of EPs. I thought it was really annoying. I thought it was very weird. It was too experimental, too jazzy or whatever. I don't know. I just didn't like it, and I actually bought it when it came out, and then I gave it to my dad and I was like, here you go. I don't want it. But over the years I have kind of matured a bit on their music. I think I've matured in general, and I actually feel like I understand this album a lot more now. The fact that it is very David Bowie inspired makes so much more sense to me. So yeah, I decided to get it on vinyl so that I can add it to my collection. The next one that I got is a very weird one. I got this for 20 bucks. I actually saw it in the window at a Salvo's or something, and I went in and I was like, I want that one. So when I turned like 13 or something, I watched the movie A Clockwork Orange, and it immediately became my favorite movie of all time. But the music in it is so strange. Obviously there's a lot of like classical and Beethoven in it, but yeah, it just was so ahead of its time. It had a very like space agey, futuristic, retro futurism sort of feel to it. So it's very strange and electronic. And then we have the last album that I got, which is the word that I probably can't say, by The Cure. This is another band that took me a really long time to come around to. I think because their like most popular songs are really upbeat and poppy, I just was like, okay, they just make like bland 80s pop. But my friend at work actually was kind of educating me on them, and he's a huge fan of them, so I decided to check them out. And oh my god, this album is so good. Knowing that Trent Reznor's favorite band is The Cure really helps me understand Nine Inch Nails better and where he gets a lot of his influence from. So yeah, this album is really, really good, so cool. And then I found it at that record store for 40 bucks, I think, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get it. Okay, so that does bring us to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully I'll be making more styling content as long as I can come home from work and like stay awake for long enough to do that. Please let me know in the comments which album out of these is your favorite. If you want to discuss any sort of music related, topics, I am 100% down. I love music so much, and without it I wouldn't be here today. So I'm so happy that I got all of these finds, and yeah, thank you guys so much for coming along with me. If you liked this video, then give the video a like, and if you liked me, then please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!